It's out there waiting for me. I can't let it live. Not if it's got a taste. Beast will wreak havoc if it ever leaves the prison. I can't let that happen.
Sid,
I'm fine. What is it?
a diary. He was here.
Oh, he fought bravely to the last.
Chadwick.
Come on, to get her back to the hideaway.
See that she's looked after from now. It's the...
I hear you've barely left the girl's side in...
She is. Slowly, but sure. The flames we found her.
I know. I'm sorry we weren't able to save Chad.
There's no need to abort to the bitter end to save her. That's the man I remember.
Could have met him. I'd like to hear more about your...
Boss, you already met my former Chadwick and I to do two things. We were supposed to be sold to the highest bidder. Was ever high enough to convince her to part with. For years, we were her daggers in the shadows. But we could never quite shake our doubts about the things she made us do. Together was out of the... After so many years of training, the pull to me to think he might have...
But even in captivity, the battles he fought died not as someone's tool.
Marie is proof of the Cursebreakers will show them how. I'll fight until my dying breath to see it done.
Thank you, Dor. Come on. Fly, Ambrosia. And of your royalist guard dogs. Specimen beast. No match for you, eh, Torgal? No need to ride from here. Harmon's madness lives on. In peace.
Aye, it's a dangerous world out. It'd better all be. You'll not find a beer here.
Where will it be? It's my time.
Unwavering will and an unbreakable bond. We're strong enough.
Save the world? Of course. As political enemies. That I'm less certain know now. My mother was troubled. Knowing he was with us would have made all the difference.
It's just back there. Father always fought for what he believed was right. It wasn't until that night at Phoenix I had never fought for any. I always had someone fighting for me.
No matter how fate conspired against it, never looked back. Never stopped fighting. He was the... I've been trying to live up to his ideals.
We all have, Clive. We all have. And we'll keep trying, because that's what he would have...
What he would have done himself, if it meant standing against the very...
I shall be borrowing this, Father, as we follow in your footsteps.
We won't lay you down.
Onward, then.
Onward.
And to a new beginning.
Trouble with your gear, or... So, will it be?
First the skies.
Joshua's worried about Jill. Joshua, I'd realized how different, but Drake
I suppose it's not hard to...
belongs anymore.
And that's why we need to remind her she is still need her. Now more than ever, but how to do...
Of course. Do you remember the time we accompanied Father on his annual tour of the duchy, and Jill and I broke from the procession to ride up Man's...
See the snow daisies. I remember it was the first time Father had allowed us to realize you were missing. He had the entire retinue down to the pot boys
in the rain. It was the Lord Commander who finally found us, and...
And it seems you and Jill have unfinished, you say?
Man's Hill.
Oh, true. Though I suspect it is also much...
I should go and scout the area for bandits.
I'm saying we should first go and see if they... What would you do?
This is the play.
I'm sorry, Clive.
There's nowhere been spared.
We keep looking. Man's Hill cannot be the only place where...
Perhaps, but it's the only place I know of.
Then why not ask someone who might know of...
Someone at the back here. Let's hope one of the gardeners knows where to find snow days.
Say what you will, Lady Karen, there's sure times over it all you moon.
Oh. What brings you down from...
I need your advice looking for a place where snow daisies grow.
Snow daisies. Then you'll want somewhere not too hot and where the winds are... I reckon Man's Hill would have similar climbs and the right element of blight.
Right.
Did you learn where we might...
The gardener here mentioned the royal meadows in Sambrek.
Ah, the fields beyond Northrees. I recalled that she kept the record of our travels, so I asked her if she'd perhaps noted anywhere that snow daisies grew.
Whose shores border the meadows.
And how might I help the garrison today?
The meadows are vast. Where do we even start?
Yotame. The coastline. We can start there.
Not another one. Let's hope this is the last one.
Only one way to find out.
That was harder than I expected. They're beautiful.
You think Jill will like them?
She'll love them. Come on. Let's go.
It appears my work is done. The rest, well, we wouldn't want another thunderstorm now, would we?
Trouble with your gear, or something falling, do you? No scratches, all right?
First the skies, then the crystal. What next?
There's something I'd like to show you.
There is?
It's, not how would you fancy a trip to Oriflamme?
There are so many. This is what you wanted to show me. Yeah,
You don't need to say anything. We've been worried about you. Do you remember when I took you to Mans?
you saw me crying and thought a change of scenery might lift my... In the end, it earned me a nasty cough and a stern scolding from your mother.
I'm sorry. I had no idea what...
Before we left, my chambermaid told me she'd overheard your mother talking about my marriage prospects. With some of the knowing whether it would be more profitable to marry me off to one of the high houses instead of saving me for the... No one thought to ask me what I want. I was nothing to them. A pawn at best.
I didn't know.
But I wasn't alone. You were there. And I knew then, no matter... I'll never forget that feeling. Before we broke camp, the morning after the storm, do you know what I did?
No? What?
I slipped away from my governess to climb, and from there I saw a sea of petals, all reaching for the sun. And I realized that no matter how terrible the night would always come. That you would always come for me. And you have. Again and again.
Where do you see us? When all this is over?
I don't know. Not here, though. I think I've outgrown the twins. After everything we've been through, the realm just seems so small. I'll need some space to spread my wings.
Then that's what you'll have. And I'll stop at nothing to see that you do.
I never was much good at garlands, but it'll have to do.
I'll treasure it forever.
Thank you, Clive. For this, the flowers, for everything. It's exactly what I... You are my treasure. We should probably be getting back. I expect the others are wondering where we are.
You're right.
And we'll do it together.
Quentin.
Do you now? Something tells me you'll be asking more of me than a cast. Go on then, chiefs and chamberlains of the realm, that they should and do the one thing that has proved impossible for thousands of years.
I know it's a lot to ask, but I can think of...
And you'd have me give up what little I have left to do it. I told you, the people of Lostwing are my family. You'll have to find someone else.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And why might that be?
What he's asking. How's it any different to what you... They want you to speak for those who can't speak for themselves. That's what we'll see, that the grapes are picked and the tons filled. You know we will.
It's not that.
Then what is it? You said yourself we're family. Don't you trust us?
You know...
What are you? That only we are worth saving? Why turn your back on you? Who's to say you couldn't convince the entire...
I fear that any rejoinder I make might fall somewhat flat by...
Marshal Havel will want to speak with you in person. He's currently in port. I can arrange for a party of cursebreakers to accompany you there.
That would be very much... I hear the roads are far from...
Paul will want to know that his plan is taking shape. Uncle, the Field Marshal has agreed.
Ha! Of course he has. I didn't doubt you.
Rutherford is accompanying him back to your manor in Porterzolder as we speak. They will await concerned that even if he could get the realm's armies to agree to an accord, he might not be as successful in convincing. He asked if I might have a solution. And I suggested...
One of your
Master Quentin would probably call...
The thing we need to put these rotten politicos in there. Good thinking, Clive.
I'm glad you approve.
The more the merrier.
And solve our problem with the... You still haven't mentioned how we might manage the grain shortages.
Oh, don't you? The 7 high houses will be... They have all agreed to make the most generous... of course, it did take a... But luckily I had some unexpected...
From who?
Why, you, my boy. Rumor has it that you rescued the Lady Ariane's head steward.
It was more of a handful.
Well, the old battle axe was... She had a shipload of talents delivered to my private docks by the next new moon. And when the other houses saw the parsimonious old crone's purse strings finally loosen, they as... Now, I must be getting back. Join us there at your earliest
Of course, Uncle.
Without any food to keep them going, they'll be dead even before you.
If I may, gentlemen, perhaps I might suggest an alternative approach. Though supply routes are indeed disrupted, there is no shortage of ships. Indeed, they bob away in every bay from here to Randalar, awaiting a safe haven. Allow them to make port and fill their bellies full of grain. And once those who crowd the cities are fed, ferry the displaced back to the countryside to work the fallow fields. But I'm sure that you wish to continue your discussion. Forgive the interruption. Two such firm friends as yourselves need no help from the likes of me. Rutherford spoke fondly of the great bond between you.
Us? Friends?
I can't stand the man!
Clive, I'm beginning to question the quality of the company you keep.
And what kind of company were you expecting him to keep? The man's a criminal!
Criminal? How dare you? Same air as this fine, upstanding...
Standing! He calls himself Sid the Blood...
Onto the breach.
Begin again. What we seek here is not to create a new nation. We wish simply to bring stability to the realm that mankind might weather the current storm. We must convince those in power, the generals, the cause is just. There will be disagreements, yes. And I imagine some resistance. Much. Let that deter us. If we show them the path, show them that we walk it, I'm confident they will follow. The fate of the world lies in my nephews, have her people, lies in ours. And we must not squander the chance that...
Byron,
Now, with that settled, let's move on to the signing of the accord. For what great moment in history hasn't been accompanied by... Citizens of Valisthea, I present to you the Triunity. Rutherford! Well, my boy, the stage is set.
That it is.
The role you were born for. We shall play our parts to the best of our might, have the opportunity the realm needs, and there is no... I want you to keep this signed accord.
I will.
And how might I help the garrison today?
Those things didn't fight like men.
Come on. Enough of you, are there? Dion would have been glad to have you back at it.
Still alive, are you?
Is something the matter, Karen?
Don't know how. But yes, something's come to my attention.
Go on.
It's probably quicker if I just show you. Here.
Some sort of... though. I don't remember seeing one that...
Aye, well, that makes two of... Long years of trading, both over and under the counter, I've never seen anything quite like it. They're calling them dusk crystals, on account of colour. It's a nothing. That's how I heard about them. From crystal traders moaning that someone's been flooding the market for asking the right people the right questions and paying the right price, of course. I managed to get my hands on a sample.
Why you're perturbed?
I hope. Do you feel that, Clive?
Right, lads, that'll do for today. I said that'll do for today.
Yes, Chief. Yes, Chief.
Let's get this lot back to town, fill our purses, and then out. What did you two do now?
Oh, tell us you've bought another lantern.
Stay calm. Who needs a lantern when you've got... all that work for a single... Well, there'll be no more sampling the merchandise...
Really close. Really.
Lads, what am I always telling you? Who run? Thief!
Felt a tremor this far inland.
It's like these till a few... Come to think of it, the first anyone ever heard...
Is it connected?
Who knows? Could just be that with Drake's tale, the new shards left in storm after a and with the price of decent crystals going through the roof.
Question is, who's selling... Wait, this colour? No, that wouldn't make sense. It didn't come from Origin or any of the other mother crystals.
You missed one. Aye.
I'll speak with Joshua. If you're right about...
And quick account to which... I'll get him to give it a once-over, guess it rings...
Right.
And I expect you'll be wanting Jill's...
Joshua, and we'll meet you in the shell.